Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Small Talk. Just a quick update on the stock market, the Fed meeting, the rate cuts, and Tesla in general. I'll be pretty brief, I promise. Stock market has rally is holding up amid Iran-Israel conflict, though the indices were finished near weekly lows for the second week in a row. President Trump has given himself 2 weeks whether to take part into the conflict or not. However, I just came across the news. I haven't gone into reading it and finding out if that's true or not, that he has just sent his B-2 bombs have been sent towards Iran, but I will probably make a separate video on that. I have to just verify and read through the news first. But for now, let's stick with that he has given himself 2 weeks whether to enter the conflict or not. The Fed stuck to its rate cut forecast. However, Fed Chair Jerome Powell is in no rush to cut the rates at this point, even though Trump has been kind of putting pressure on him to cut the rates. Actually, I was reading about the news this morning, and Trump had said this numbskull could save the country $1 trillion yearly if he was to cut rates right now. And he said, I understand I'm being very rough and my criticism is very harsh on him. He said, but I have tried to play kind. I have tried to stay neutral, and the kind and neutral didn't work. So that means now he's going to become a douchebag, which he did become douchebag. And he said he may consider to extend his term as well, which is going to end in 2026. And we have Fed Governor Christopher Wallace, who has turned into the policy dove recently, and he said that on Friday that he is open to cutting rates as early as July. We'll see if that's actually true and if Jerome Powell will actually listen to him. And Trump also stated that if Jerome Powell will listen to me, he will probably think about not letting him go once he completes his term, and he will. Christopher Wallace is the candidate to become the next Fed chair if Jerome Powell was to leave. So for now, I guess investors are waiting on the sideline to see which direction Iran and Israel conflict goes, even though it hasn't affected the market, much, too much, but still people they're hesitant to kind of jump all in. Tesla has confirmed that they are going to, on Friday, that they are going to have their Robotaxi launch that will take place on Sunday in a geofenced area in Austin, Texas. Invitees can try the service between 6 a.m. and midnight. Those invitees include the social media influencers for Tesla and some of the early investors of Tesla. All the invitees can bring one passenger with them for one ride, basically. And they also said that the Robotaxi is not going to go into the airport, and if it rains or weather changes, the service may stop. This Robotaxi is going to be operating in the presence of a safety monitor in the passenger seat, and also along with the teleoperators as backup, as well as a safety car following behind it, which is a very good measure because it's a very first time they're actually launching the Robotaxi. I know Waymo is already operating, and Waymo is going to want Tesla Robotaxis to be successful because that is going to expand their market as well. So I think everybody is just waiting on that's going to create some enthusiasm and excitement among investors, and stock market may react to that come Monday, and it might send Tesla stock on a move. But I think in general, the investors are going to wait for at least a year and a half to make sure that it was actually a success. And they don't just want to jump into something, God forbid some accident happens, which obviously is going to put Tesla, in the back burner. Tesla stock could swing Monday morning in the Robotaxi launch, but as I said, the process might take, a year and a half before everybody is confirmed that the program is a success. Waymo, yeah, that's already operating and running, but as Elon Musk said, the Waymo cost way more. So they're pretty expensive as far as the FSD is concerned. Tesla is going to announce their FSD towards the end of the year. That's what Elon Musk has announced, but we all know, I always anticipate that when he says towards the end of the year, maybe it's the first quarter of next year, because he always changes his plans. Yes, Waymo FSD is already operating, but if you were to compare the prices of Waymo and Tesla prices are going to be a lot cheaper, FSDs. And Elon Musk has stated in one of his conferences that Waymo does cost way more. It's kind of funny. Some of the stocks that you should look into this week, which have, I think, gotten to the buying point, which includes Uber, Shake Shack, Supermicro, Tesla. They're all good. They're all at the good buying levels right now. So it's a good time to buy those stocks and kind of swing it. Not a personalized financial advice. I'm not sure about the long-term hold, but definitely you can swing those stocks and make some money in the short term. Tesla is going to be, once their robotaxi is launched and up and running, I think there's going to be more enthusiasm built around their upcoming FSDs, and I think Tesla stock is going to keep going depending on the situation in the Middle East. And if this news is correct that Donald Trump has sent their B-2 bombs towards Iran, then I think it just shows that the talks are not going well, and they're not coming to an agreement, and that could actually escalate the situation rather than de-escalating the situation. So what am I doing next week? Definitely I have some powder on the sideline. I might dip into buy Uber, and I may add some more to my Tesla position. Also, I might think about buying Supermicro as well. And then I'm going to swing trade these stocks in the short term, because if you look at Uber's 52-week high, it was, I think, around $92 or $93. Right now it's at $83. So that's like $10 per share that you can make in the coming week or couple of weeks, depending on how the situation goes as far as the geopolitical situation is concerned. And if the Fed announces to cut rates in July, it's going to be very bullish for the market, because then investors are going to jump all in, because they've been waiting on the sideline for this moment to come. And if that really does happen, then I think we have a chance of all these stocks hitting all-time high. Tesla, as I've been mentioning, is going to hit probably $500 towards the end of the year, if not definitely $400. So I'm going to shed some shares at that point at $400, and then I'm going to ride the next up until $500. As far as Supermicro is concerned, I think their all-time high is 52 or 42. Just double check, fact check me on that. So I'm going to buy the stock now and then ride it all the way to its 52-week high, and then at that point I'm going to sell those stocks and make some profit. And then later on, maybe I'll just buy them for the long-term investment. That includes Uber, Tesla, and maybe Shake Shack or Supermicro, one or the other. I would love to get into NVIDIA, but there's so much going on around AI market that I'm just a little reluctant to jump into NVIDIA. I know I'm making a mistake. I should probably buy NVIDIA now, because I know a year from now I'm going to regret this. But I'm just a little hesitant, because in the past I have bought stocks at a very high cost, and then the stock drops, and then you have to wait for a long time for those stocks to recover. And then sometimes you just never recover, and then you get so frustrated and you end up selling them at loss, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes when you're taking profits from your day trades or swing trades, it's good to have those stocks be sold at loss. That's going to be a tax write-off for you. But we're in the stock market to make money, and everybody wants to make money on each stock that they hold. So it's kind of frustrating. And that's why I'm just waiting for Bitcoin, for NVIDIA, for Palantir to all come down a little bit before I nibble into those stocks and then maybe hold them long term. Because if I buy these stocks, they're going to be a long term investment for me. They're not going to be swing trade, maybe next 3 to 5 year time frame, when AI is like up and running and everybody is confident in using AI. And then the stocks are going to become maybe next Tesla or next Google, or whatever, all those big mega sevens. So that's my update so far. I am going to record a new video after reading the news on if the news that I came across was actually true or not. I'm going to verify this, and maybe I'll record a second video on the geopolitical situation, whether Trump has decided to actually send SB2 bombs or not, or whether he's going to attack, actively take part into Israel's war. I was actually listening to somebody this morning, and the host asked that person the question. I think he was some kind of political figure, that do you think that if US does not take part into the war with Israel, Israel has a chance to win? And he said, absolutely. No, sir, absolutely not. Israel cannot sustain this war economically for more than 12 days unless US replenishes their interception technology. Israel is going to be in big trouble. And then he also suggested that, if we don't take part into the war in air, maybe we can just do like land intervention. That is going to be very risky, because if they take part into that kind of situation, then they're going to actually actively going into the battlefield, and then they're going to humiliate themselves, just like they have done in Afghanistan and in Iraq and in Ukraine and Russia war. And now they're going to do the same thing with this Israel and Iran war as well. Let's hope that doesn't happen, because wars have been draining the taxpayers' money in this country. Especially US have been taking part into Israel war for a few decades now. And Israel is a country that cannot even sustain itself without US backing it. So in real life, Israel as a state doesn't even exist if it wasn't because of the USA. So it's not even a real state. It's just running off of Americans' taxpayers' money so far. That's my perspective. I'm going to record a new video after verifying the news. Please give my video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Be safe out there and make some money.